All right. Shalom. Just like to do this real quick. Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. The honors be to the apostles and the others where millstone rule well. Peace, blessing, salutation be to the hopefully elect. All right, Lord, let this lesson is edifying to the lambs, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. This is just something I kind of wanted to toss up there real quick. I'm going to go ahead and go to my screen. I had went to this video, which was posted by the beloved elder Malcolm from Jim in Chicago. And I didn't watch the video. Now I might put it on my watch later. But I looked in the comments because like 100% of the time when the elder puts a video up about Israelite foreigners, somebody's talking shit. So I wanted to, I just want to see what the comments were going, But the title of the lesson is called "The Spirit Bears Witness." It ain't about color but seed, which is exactly what the scriptures say. Okay, time and time again, the scriptures constantly confirm that it's based off of your father's lineage and not your physical appearance. All right, so I titled this lesson, "Mouths Will Be Stopped." All right, and by mouths will be stopped, I'm talking about these scoffers and scorners that come up against not just Israelite foreigners, but the sound doctrine of Yahweh Shema Shai, which is pushed here at Great Millstone. Their mouths will be stopped. They're not going to be able to say shit anymore. Sorry to speak so bluntly, but that's just the reality of it. They're not going to be able to talk their talk. It's coming to the point where it's very evident that the Lord is dealing with the men of Great Millstone. Okay, but somebody had commented, just call your channel the Terror Collector Show, which makes absolutely no sense at all. Okay, which Apostle Ramlab had made a video, months back, dealing with how, the tares look just like the wheat, and it talks about that in the parable. So how could people that have the appearance of a heathen, how could they be a tare? That doesn't even make sense. A tare is a heathen that looks like an Israelite, a typical Israelite on that, especially a so-called a Negro, so if he, for example, let's say he comes from the English Edomites, and they mingled in with so-called Negro women, and now he looks like a so-called Negro. That's a terror, because his father's seed line goes back to Esau or Elam or Ishmael, but especially dealing with Esau, right? Our primary enemy of the nations. So a terror is somebody that has a typical Israelite appearance, but is actually a heathen. Okay, so how could a terror be somebody that looks nothing like the wheat? That doesn't make any sense. So, and that's, something I said to him, because the Spirit jumped on me. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put one comment. I'm just going to comment to this guy. And he sent me a plethora of comments back. I didn't say anything to any of them. The point was already made, but hey, man, I said, bro, what does that even mean? And that's exactly the type of tone I had. Like, what are you even talking about? Like Russell Westbrook, like, what are you talking about, bro? I said the tares look identical to wheat, meaning heathens that have the appearance of a typical Israelite, in particular so-called black. It's time to wake up to the reality that Israel is a nation and not a color, which is true, because you'll notice even on the 12 tribe sign for Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Issachar, Reuben, Manasseh, Gad, etc., there's not a physical description on how they look. Like, in order to be a Benjamite, you have to be dark skinned with an afro. That's not biblical. It goes according to your father's seed line. What determines your nation and even your tribe is your father's seed line. Because your mom could be Reuben, for example, and your dad could be Levi. Or your dad could be Asher and your mom could be Ephraim. You are whatever your dad is, bro. And it goes all the way back thousands of years. So just when you understand that it's according to the seed of your father, and you understand that we're scattered amongst these nations and planted our seed in these different heathens women, and their men planted their seed in ours, you're going to have, Israelites that look like heathens. You're going to have heathens that look like typical Israelites. That's just what it is. That's really the reality of the world, So like, but I said, we look like everybody. In fact, I can guarantee you, majority, if not all of our families have mingled among a heathen in the past thousands of years. And I said that because you got guys out there that think because you have a heathen mom, that makes you a heathen. Well, no, because that would mean it's based off of your mother. And let me go ahead and get this real quick. That nonsense, man. Because that's all it is at the end of the day. It's a bunch of fucking horse shit. All right. But this is 1 Kings 14 and 21. And Rehoboam, if you are familiar with who this is, this was the first king of Judah. Okay. The son of Solomon reigned in Judah. He was the first king of Judah after they had split with the northern kingdom, after King Solomon had died. All right. 1 Kings 14 and 21. And Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah, did choose out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And now this was the point. This is why I had grabbed this. And his mother's name was Naamah, an Ammonitess. What is an Ammonitess? A woman from the nation of Ammon. So his mom was a so-called Japanese woman today. Okay? But guess what? He was still an Israelite. He was still a Judite. He still reigned as king over Judah for 17 years. You don't think that the people in charge of our nation back then would have been like, no, you can't do that because you're not even an Israelite. It's in the law that we're not allowed to have a heathen rule over. So why did Rehoboam? Because he's an Israelite, based off of the seed of his father. All right, let's double back on that. I got another 1-2 for you real quick. We know that Moses' wife, Zipporah, she was also a heathen. Okay? This is 1 Chronicles chapter 23, verse 14. Now concerning Moses, the man of God, his sons were named of the tribe of Levi. The sons of Moses were Gershom and Eleazar, which I'm pretty sure Gershom actually goes into meaning stranger. Okay? Just because you're a stranger doesn't mean you're a heathen. All right? Just because you're known as uncircumcised or a Gentile or even as a heathen, it doesn't mean you're a heathen. There's been a couple instances where Israelites were referred to as heathens. All right? Even first one that comes to mind in the book of Susanna, Daniel called one of the elders. He said, "Thou son of Canaan and not of Judah." Because if when you become lawless and you become conformed to these idols and these different wicked ways out here outside of the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai, you're being what? A heathen. Yahweh Shai said what? If he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. Okay? So simply put, man, it's as simple as that. So back to this, because we've all mingled with heathens, man. All right, at some point or another, you wouldn't be able to know if it happened thousands of years ago, let alone hundreds. You realize how quickly appearances can change over generations? It says we know we're Israel based off faith in the scriptures. And he just sends comments that have absolutely nothing to do with what I just said. He sends scriptures that have absolutely nothing to do with his point that he's trying to substantiate at all. So I'm like, okay, he's obviously, just keeping it blunt, he's obviously bugged out. All right. He obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know who he's learning from. He's probably one of those no camp guys, not going to assume that, but it's clear that it's clear that he lacks understanding. Right. So I go to his page. He has 0 subscribers. That's the first thing, which is not about subscribers. His description says being translated, right? Got a picture of a lion. Daniels are cool, right? No videos. He's not holding camp, nothing. He has no works. Boom. You go to playlist. He has a playlist called Fat Bitch. And it's over 200 videos of Israelite women twerking their bottom. Is this a man of the Lord? Now, I'm not saying, whatever, if somebody watches that's you, whatever. But for you to put that as a fucking playlist on your profile that you're trying to edify, quote unquote, with, and, this is just madness, man. This is not a man of the Lord, bro. This is clear. No videos. The only videos you got is a playlist of people twerking. You're bugged out, bro. You're bugged out. Like, just keeping it real. Okay? If you're so wise, if GMS and all the other camps or whatever has it wrong, where are your videos? Why aren't you going out? Where are your works? Because what did Yahushua say? Let me get it. I probably should have been more specific than that. Oh my goodness, so lucky. I know it's a scripture. Yeah, that was it, but I want to see. Oh yeah, just go ahead and grab that. It's Matthew chapter 12, verse 33. It says, either make the tree good and its fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and its fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit, and so are people, right? So you have people out there, such as Great Millstone, Lord will, that the sincere brothers out there of the elect, we continue to fight. They were given the sound doctrine. They have fruit. They have men that have came under them and are still pushing, and it keeps going down the chain, right? And then you have people, and that's good fruit. You have people that have bad fruit, and because they're teaching falsehood and lies, deception, they're wicked, that people fall into them. And then you got this guy who has no fruit. Okay, as far as we can see, at least, as far as we can see on his page, he has no fruit. He has no labor. He's not putting out no videos. He's not holding camp. And if he is, then where is it? Because if you're over here on the comment board talking all this cash shit, saying this and that about an elder, about a head of a whole GMS camp that has a lot of brothers in it, which that's not the point, but just, a man that's been doing this work for over 10 years, and you're going to come on the comment board and basically say he don't know shit and you know everything. Well, where are your videos? Why aren't you going out? Where are your camp videos? Where's anything valuable on your channel? Not a damn place. You see? Hey, man. So the Lord is going to, and actually, before I even start to wrap it up, I'm going to go ahead and get this. Matthew 12 and 36, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So you're going to have to answer for what you said. The falsehood that you're teaching, all the trash that you different guys out there have talked about the men of the Lord, you're going to have to answer for those things. All right. And it might not be today or tomorrow or next month, but it's coming. Matthew 12 and 37, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. And that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to get condemned. You're calling GMS rapists, calling GMS pedophiles, saying we're false prophets, saying this, saying that. You're going to be condemned, bro. Simple as that. Okay? And ultimately, it's part of the scriptures. That proves the scriptures. That proves that we're doing the right thing. 2 Peter 3 and 3, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, people that come up against this truth, man. Whether they have a distorted doctrine or whether they don't believe at all, whatever the case may be, they come against this word, walking after their own lusts. A lot of these guys, they got pride demons on them, man. They don't want to fall in order. They don't want to fall in line. They don't want to admit that, they need to be taught. All right. They try to be the next dude. They try to be the leader of Israel. They're trying to, they're trying to put their little baby feet in Shaq size shoes, and it's not going to work. You got to start at the bottom, man. You got to fall in line. You got to fall in order. It's not about being that guy. It's not about having all this knowledge. It's not about, preeminence. That ain't what this truth is about, man. The only person you're trying to surpass is who you were yesterday. Okay. So this is madness, man. And you can see it because you over here putting, comments, cool, right? But then when you press on your page, you ain't got shit on your page, man. In fact, you got the opposite of that. This is madness, bro. This is madness. Okay. So, and that's why a lot of you dudes, man, a lot of you guys out there, you just need to shut the fuck up. Like Elder Kazak made that video, I believe it was a couple years ago. Shut the fuck up, man. Like, seriously, a lot of you dudes just really need to shut the hell up. And I'm not saying that like I have a position to talk, but, I'm doing my best to fall in line and fall under the order and under the sound doctrine of Yahweh Shai. You see? So, hey, man, Lord bless us edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. All right, double honors be to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessing, side, chasing, be to the hopeful elect. With that said, Shalom, Mawatha Wabal. Keep pushing, Kwame Yashua. All right, don't mind these guys out here, man. You know, their mouths will be stopped.